Coming up next on UTRGV-TV, a student claims that her name was missing in the fall graduation commencement program. A private advocacy group is set for building a wall in the valley after being frustrated with the rate of progress from the federal government. Plus, we have all the details for the week of welcome, and we get to hear students' New Year resolutions as we enter the second week of the new year. We have this and so much more. UTRGV-TV starts now. Good evening and Happy New Year. Welcome back to UTRGV TV. I'm Rocio Villalobos. We hope you had a great winter break and are ready for another semester. At the top of this week's newscast, an Edinburgh UTRGV student claims that her name was missing in the fall graduation commencement program on the day of her graduation. Neila Alcantar spoke to the student. Here's the story.
Erica Duvernay applied for commencement 5 months prior to her graduation date. She was surprised to see her name was not found on the program.
I see her messages and they're like, hey, where's your name?
Duvernay was sitting across the stage when her mother sent her a text. She wasn't on the program.
And so then I finally go through it. I get to the last D and then it goes to E. I'm like, oh, so I need to be here. Why isn't my name here?
She could not believe it.
To have so much pride in this university to then not be recognized, it was kind of like a heartbreaking feeling.
Duvernay tells us she started to worry her name would not be called out on stage. Fortunately, it was.
Erica M. Duvernay.
University Registrar Sofia Montes states a few possibilities as to why this could have occurred.
And sometimes causes for that might be, for example, that a course substitution or waiver of degree requirements has been submitted, but not yet fully reviewed and approved, or that it hasn't been submitted. And sometimes those actions are things that will turn a student from not meeting degree requirements to meeting degree requirements.
Duvernay claims she had applied on time for graduation, even receiving the invitation a month in advance. She sent UTRGV-TV the emails that she received with the confirmations and timestamps. Duvernay says she can't change the past, but she hopes that other UTRGV students do not find themselves in her situation. In the studio for UTRGV-TV, Neila Alcantar.
Frustrated with the rate of progress of the border wall, a private non-profit advocacy group is deciding to take the matter into their own hands. The group We Build the Wall has already completed close to a mile of border wall in Sunland Park, New Mexico, all with the help of donations, and has set its next site in Mission, Texas. We Build the Wall plans to build a 3.5-mile stretch of border wall on a private property in Mission and has begun clearing lands. We'll have the complete story in our following newscast. In 2019, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention stated an estimate of 5.4 million middle school and high school students use e-cigarettes. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is now placing a ban on any mint and fruit-flavored vaping product this year.
You showcase a variety of flavors that taste like candy or grape or bubblegum, you're marketing to children. And so it's a known harmful thing that's being marketed to the most vulnerable population.
Although this ban does not restrict tobacco and menthol products, it aims to decrease the number of deaths caused by e-cigarettes. To report smoking on campus, visit utrgv.edu/keeputrgv tobacco free. UTRGV Transportation Services has an up-and-running bus tracker. Our reporter Betty Lou Infante has more on how this tracker works.
UTRGV Parking and Transportation Services offer students different modes of transportation, whether it's between or simply around campus. With all these vehicles in use, efficiency is a priority. This is where the bus tracker plays a pivotal role within these transportation services. According to the Director of Transportation, Gabriel Zuniga, each bus under the use of the UTRGV Transportation Services is equipped with a module that doubles as a Wi-Fi service and GPS tracker for the convenience of both its users and the transportation staff alike.
It serves two roles, to be honest. One role is for all of our passengers to be able to track the buses in real time. And the idea there is it'll help limit the calls to our office. They can check on their phone at any given time and check where their bus is in real time. And they can see it actually move on their screen. And so by automating that area, right, a lot of the passengers can do that on their own.
With the campuses constantly evolving, some students see the bus tracker as a service that is convenient and can develop for the better over time.
I think it's a great thing that UTRGV is doing that. It's something new, something different, and something that could be developed as well to later years and be evolved to something better. Now that you see that the university is expanding, not only just in the university but like outside, traveling to Edinburgh and all that stuff, I do feel like it would be very beneficial to start using around campus.
Reporting in Brownsville for UTRGV-TV, I'm Berilo Infante.
A new and eco-friendly form of transportation introduced to the city of Edinburgh. I spoke with the assistant city manager to learn how the addition will help bring in revenue to the city if the trial period proves successful. If you're 18 or over and in the East Edinburgh area, you have a new option for transportation, the Blue Duck scooter. Edinburgh is the first RGV city to test the electric scooters, and the assistant city manager says, since introduced on the 1st of January, the scooters have taken off.
So far, it's been a positive effect everywhere, and I get to see a lot of people on the scooters already.
Over the next 6 months, the city will collect riders' data to determine whether or not to implement the scooters into the city long term. Right now, the scooters are not costing the city, but if all works out and it enters a partnership with Blue Duck, Reina says Edinburgh will gain a new source of revenue.
We charge a applicant fee or a permit fee for each scooter, so that's where the city will generate some revenues from the scooter rentals.
To get started, all you have to do is download an app, create an account, and connect to a scooter. It costs $1 to get started and an additional 25 cents a minute. So a 1-hour ride will cost $16. Users are encouraged to wear a helmet and are responsible for following driving laws and street regulations.
It's right at your own risk. It is something that we are asking for people over 18 to only use, which they're welcome to go for right now on sidewalks, on all the bike lanes. So we've had pretty much everywhere they're located, there's somewhere they'll be able to ride it on.
While he's excited to begin using the Blue Duck, UTRGV student Joel Aram Vela says he has one concern.
There's not that much sidewalk here, and a lot of people like text and drive. So, I guess that would be kind of my only concern, but other than that, I think they're great.
And while the scooters are prohibited on campus, it will lock if you enter the perimeter. Vela says he plans to ride it as close as he can to get to his classes, as well as recreationally. Reina says the city will receive its first batch of data sometime this week, and at the 1-month mark, a Blue Duck representative will visit to answer questions at a town hall. In Edinburgh for UTRGV-TV, Rocio Villalobos. To kick off the spring semester, UTRGV continues its tradition with Week of Welcome. It started today with a new event at the Brownsville campus called Viva Vaqueros. This event is focused on vaquero pride and will allow students to know more about the symbolism of being a vaquero. Week of Welcome will continue with the back-to-school bash and other festivities. We'll have the link to the schedule on our website. Now here's what you might have missed from police reports over the break. On Christmas Eve at 10:49 p.m., UTRGV Police Communications reported observing 3 individuals on the border cameras crossing the border fence in the area of Lot B1. Now here's what you might have missed from police reports over the break. On Christmas Eve at 10:49 p.m., UTRGV Police Communications reported observing 3 individuals on the border cameras crossing the border fence in the area of Lot B1. The individuals were seen crossing University Boulevard toward the wooden area between Ringgold Road and the main building. USBP was notified and they arrived with the K9. A perimeter was established and the individuals were apprehended in the wooded area without incident. 2 individuals were from Honduras and 1 was from Guatemala. On December 29th at 12:59 a.m., officers responded to the Casa Bella apartments in reference to an alcoholic beverage violation reported by a housing coordinator. It was determined that 6 individuals displayed signs of alcoholic beverage consumption by a minor, but did not display signs of intoxication. 5 of them, who were TSC students, were issued criminal trespass warnings for the apartments. No citations were issued. The incident will be handled administratively. On New Year's Eve at 7:13 p.m. near the UTRGV Brownsville campus, UTRGV Police Communications operator observed 3 male subjects on the border cameras on the south side of the fence preparing to cross. UTRGV police officers arrived on scene and detained all 3 male subjects from Mexico without incident. Shortly after, USBP arrived and took custody of the male subjects. We've made it to the second week of the new year, so we decided to check in with students about how their New Year's resolutions are going.
At work, we're doing a New Year's challenge where whoever loses the most body fat at the end of the year wins $3,000. So I'm pursuing that. I've been stopping all the sugars and no sugar drinks, no sugar foods, and working out more. So it's been going well. I haven't broke it. Well, it's only been 2 weeks, so we'll see how that goes.
To get all A's this semester and to also manage my time better, like balance out school time with free time. Just taking time off, like when I feel stressed, to do things that I like more than stressing myself out about future homeworks or assignments.
Yeah, my New Year's resolution is to read more, and I've been reading more fiction books. I've read 3 books for the past 3 weeks.
Take more notes and to be more diligent in taking notes for class. Clearing out my entire computer to make sure, to keep work documents in specific folders for specific classes. Marking those folders and file names to make sure I am keeping all the notes on one document.
My New Year's resolution is to finish with all A's. Going to class.
I want to make sure that I keep to doing a trip every year. I'm hoping that grad school won't inhibit me, but maybe, take me somewhere else that I haven't been.
That's all we have for you today. But remember, if you have a story you would like for us to know about, or know someone who is making an impact on campus or in the community, you can contact us through our social media or email us at tv@utrgv.edu. And just before we end the newscast, we want to say that UTRGV-TV will no longer be the name for our station. We will reveal our name very soon, so keep it here. Until next time.